Hey everyone, what's going on? Greg here again from Team Blast. I want to go over the keyword movers, how I've been able to maintain top rankings for one of my clients and actually even expand their radius, which is resulting in more website clicks and phone calls for their business, which is more customers for them, which is all they care about. So, to start, for all of my local SEO clients, I track their performance in local Falcon using the SoLV trend report. They are the red line over here. So, back in November, they were just under 40%. Today, they're at 46% when you round up. We've been able to maintain their rankings and actually improve it in some key areas, again, which has resulted in more website clicks and phone calls for their business for the keyword movers. So, what is SOLV? So, if you ever Google anything on your, let's say, laptop or tablet, you have the ability to click on website or directions, and then you can also call the website, but it's not a trackable click because I can pick up my phone. There's nothing for me to click on this. However, on mobile, if I search for, let's say, movers, I have the ability to click on the phone icon, which is a trackable performance link within Google My Business. That's how I'm able to see how many phone calls my client is getting. That's what I actually report on for them each month. So, how is the map changing for them? So, I want to explain this just in a little bit. Left hand side was the initial scan. December was in the middle of the report, and then February is the last scan I did. What I do for all of my local SEO clients is I study the map and I zoom in. It's all about micro targeting different areas. So, for example, I'm in upstate New York. Saratoga Springs is pretty populated for the upstate New York region. However, if you go to certain areas around us, the population decreases pretty fast. That's usually the case for all my local SEO clients. There's pockets within the map that are more densely populated than others. So what I'm doing with my client is looking at dots 4, 5, and 6, and then also looking at them from a population standpoint and saying if I can flip certain dots either to position 1, 2, or 3, what's going to result in the most qualified impressions and the most volume for them. So for example, if I flip one dot to position 1, 2, or 3 that has 2,000 people who live in this town versus one dot that has 20,000 people, you understand where the value of the other dot flipping to 20,000 potential people now seeing this gives my client the best opportunity now to get more qualified impressions for the keyword movers so then they can get more website clicks and phone calls to their business. So the results: January 2025 versus January 2024, they were up 71% in phone calls and website clicks were up 137%. So with local SEO, it's not about writing blog posts and how much traffic we get from that and the SEO juice that might flow through the website. All I care about is KPIs. KPIs are just more phone calls, more form submissions, more customers for my client. All I care about is just that. So if I can increase qualified traffic to their Google My Business account, or even to the website, I know the value of that, of how many sessions it takes for a phone call to take place, how many sessions it takes for a form submission to occur. That's all important for forecasting for how my client will be doing in February and beyond, as long as we maintain or even expand our rankings. So the results. What I also look at is the views. So I can't control who clicks on an account or who calls a business, but what I can help influence is how many impressions that they're getting. It's all a numbers game. So for me, people viewed your business profile as a soft KPI I care about. They were up 50% year over year with that. Then search is showing their accounts. So I've redacted all the other keywords, but here's the only one I'm showing is just movers. They're up 60% in searches showing my client's account year over year. Again, I can't control if anyone's going to click on the account, but what I can control is getting them in front of more people and then knowing it's a numbers game to get more phone calls and website clicks. Okay, so what was done? You guys might be wondering, okay, this is great. Greg is showing all these results, but what can I do as a business owner or as an SEO specialist to help either improve my client account or for a website owner thinking, what can I do to improve my rankings? So to start, I use local Falcon and I use the competitor report section. This is that micro targeting analysis that I mentioned before. I look at all the top competitors in the area and I put them into an Excel spreadsheet and I break down their share of local voice and other key metrics like do they have a local area phone number, how many reviews they have, primary category, secondary category, how often they make updates, etc. This is all just internal reporting that I do to get a baseline metric of what I need to do now for my clients. I study the map and I try to figure out exactly where the overlap is and where the shaky dots are, like 4, 5, and 6, that I might be able to flip for my clients. So this is all the competitor review section. I'm constantly looking at what we can do. Next is updates to their accounts. Now I'm showing TM Blast because I don't want to showcase the individual account that I'm talking about, but updates are so critical. Updates are a way to keep your account fresh. They can lead to more clicks. They can lead to more even people clicking on them for phone calls, etc. So for TM Blast, I'm always posting things going on with my business. Same thing with my clients. They share with me photos of their team. Let's say doing a moving project, I will upload them, or they might upload them themselves. And it's just important to keep that active, show potential clients that you are an active business. It's just a great engagement. Plus, I also really believe that Google uses click data for their rankings. So I think people clicking on this, even if they don't click to call now, I still think it's a signal that this is an important business that's updating. Next, this is an expansion of question and answers. So, a lot of my local SEO clients might have an FAQ page on their website, and it makes sense because they get the same questions all the time. I do the same thing for this client and from other clients too. I take the most important questions that they're already getting from their first party users, asking them directly on their account, and then answering them. I think this is important. Again, it's another signal to Google. You can also put in relevant keywords as well, or even cities and towns you might service. There's a lot of ways you can take advantage of the question and answer content. So I recommend maybe posting a question and answer every week or so and just expanding on that to see how that does with rankings. Next is the service areas. You have up to 20 listings you can do. So what I notice a lot of times is that clients will or potential clients will reach out to me and say, Greg, I need help with my local SEO. I'll look into their service areas and they only target the big metros. And of course, it makes sense because of what I said before. One town might have 2,000 people, another town might have 20,000 people. Of course, everyone wants to go after the big metros. But when I do the initial scan, and I noticed that you're not even ranking in those big metros, let alone you're not even ranking in a 5 mile radius, let's say around your location. It's more important to get the early wins and start to target the micro towns and cities around your location and flip them because that's still qualified impressions. And we can work on expanding, the radius as far as we can, but really putting in the service areas that you are relevant around and how you can flip them is an important signal to flip some of those dots 4, 5, and 6 to position either 1, 2, or 3 because you're telling Google and users directly, I service these areas. Next, local directories are actually very important. I have a lot of back and forth dialogue with my clients all the time on this. Hey, Greg, what's the value? If I pay for this local chamber of commerce directory for $500 a year, and what I say is always this: we can track it within referral traffic. Of course, we can back that into how many form submissions and phone calls, anything else like we get from that. So that's one way we can track the value of the link. The second thing, though, is that you have to think of it from a perspective of if a user is searching for, let's say, TM Blast, of course, you're going to find my website and the Google My Business, but what are third party sites saying about me? So I have LinkedIn, that's great. Saratoga.com, that's a directory. Then I'm on Trust Index, that's another directory as well. That's showcasing TM Blast, my reviews, etc. I do this for all my local SEO clients. I propose to them the local directories they should be on because a Chamber of Commerce site, let's say in Saratoga Springs, is far more valuable than some random blog that some site wrote about that linked the keyword movers back to your website. I think that practice is really just over. What's more important is that Google wants to see that you are a local business in these areas and it makes sense that you're listed on these third-party sites. My last point with local directories is this. I talk all the time about Google Maps and rankings and traffic from all that, but you really have to diversify your traffic. So when I get my clients on a local Chamber of Commerce site or a similar site as well, I'm looking at that as a way to drive referral traffic and a way to market on those sites, things like newsletters, social media posts, etc. It's all about getting qualified traffic from the people that you want to service to either find out your business or come to your website. So again, I don't care about link juice. I don't care about any of that. All I care about is expanding local directories is going to help with traffic and also in an indirect way can also help with SEO rankings. But I'm more focused on what this might be for a user searching for the brand. Next is Apple Maps. So we just talked about local directories. I think it makes sense to get on Apple Maps, but you need to have a physical address. You can't be a service area business. So I stress this that I see this a lot of times, whether it's like a locksmith or an HVAC company or a moving company, et cetera, they will reach out to me. If you don't have a physical address, I think this is a big lost opportunity that you have for your business. You can't get on Apple Maps. I think Google and even Bing is looking at all these like major directories and saying, okay, this business here is a service area business. They're not on Apple Maps. How legitimate is this type of operation? Whereas an established business that's on these directories, I think still plays a factor because even if you search for like a mover, whether you're in Apple Maps or using DuckDuckGo, it's still going to show your business. I think that indirect signal is still something that Google is looking at across the web, just like local directories of saying, yes, this business, once again, name, address, phone numbers listed on a third party site. It makes sense. Bing Maps, same thing. I think Apple and Google and Bing, et cetera, I think they all use each other's information to kind of solidify their rankings. So if you're updating things within Google and Apple, whether it's new photos or descriptions or anything else like that, do the same within Bing. Sync them if you can. And if you can't, just manually update your Bing account. I think Google's looking at that information as well because, again, name, address, phone number should match across the board. It's all a powerful signal. Next, embed the map into the footer. So I talk about this to all my local SEO clients, and even these videos I do too. Take your Google My Business account, embed the map directly into your website footer. It's a great connection to kind of solidify again that you are a local business in this area. Here's the map. Here's the connection between my website and my Google My Business account. I think it really helps with your local SEO rankings. And then finally, again, it's doing the weekly local Falcon scan. So I'm looking at the trend line. I'm looking at different competitors, who's ranking, who moves up, who moves down. What can my client do? I'm always changing the radius as well. So this is just a 6 mile radius, but I always expand this to other scans. So let's say 8 miles, 10 miles, again, more granular with a 15 by 15 or 17 by 17 grid. I'm constantly looking at the micro targeting areas that I can kind of flip. Maybe mention those towns and cities in the description, local chamber of commerce's, updates, etc. I think all this kind of plays a factor. So really, in summary, I'll go back to the slide that really I think matters the most is this. Now, this might not seem like a big deal, 24 phone calls, but it's up 71% and 38 website clicks, up 137. But this is such high quality traffic that they're getting. It's resulting in more customers for them. From a year-over-year perspective, we're able to do some more forecasting for February and beyond of where they should be, which allows us to do more investing in, let's say, local directories or even website improvements as well. Anyway, I hope you guys found this video to be interesting and helpful. If you have any questions, feel free to reach out. And as always, have a good rest of your day.